Hi guys, hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is with Rumbi. Okay guys, I just want to say thank you to everybody who subscribed thus far and who is part of the family. And if you haven't subscribed, I'm asking you to do so because you don't want to miss any of the content that I upload on this channel. It's really a channel of love. Trust me, I can't wait to love you all. A lot is about to happen. Right, so most importantly today, actually because by public demand, I decided to get to know who I am because people have been asking a lot of questions and nobody was able to answer them. So pretty much guys, let me just give you a bit of my personal background. So I am Zimbabwean. My name is Rumbizai Makono, and but I am 40 years old. So they ask me about my age. I've never been shy, about my age. So I'm 40 years old. So 20 years in Zimbabwe, 20 years in South Africa. So I've been staying here for quite a long time. Yeah, it's fascinating. Actually, it's a beautiful place. So yeah, Zimbabwe is originally from Masvingo, a beautiful city. And yeah, you can't wait to hear more from me, right? Okay, so the second question is that, what is the last thing you do before you sleep? Ooh, it depends, really. It depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I read, sometimes I'm busy on my computer, sometimes I am meditating. So it really depends. I don't have actually like a definite evening routine, so which I'm working on. So just be patient with me, but it's coming soon. I'm trying hard. I'm kind of putting so many things together, so that I can reshape my schedule. So please forgive me. The morning routine I do have, but evening is tricky. I don't have any. I'm sorry about that. All right, so the third question is, how often do you use social media? Okay, like literally every day. Most of my time, really, I used not to be a social media guru, but now, considering that I have a YouTube channel, considering that I also do blogging, and just also I'm very interested in the current affairs, especially in Zimbabwe because of the elections. So I'm pretty much like on my phone and on my computer all the time. My job is as a property practitioner. I am literally forced to understand what's going on with the market. So pretty much I'm on social media all the time. So number 4, what is your biggest regret in life? Damn. I think the biggest regret in life for me is, what is it? Do I have a regret? I think the biggest regret is I wish I could have known, much about giving. I'm a giver. I love to give. I literally breathe giving. But one of the things is that I did not apply earlier was giving with discretion. Really just to sit down. And my mom used to say that I'm I'm a passive decision maker, of which is not advisable. It's not really wise. You need to make sure that whatever decision you make, you think through it. But you know what? Us women in general, we are just passive decision makers. We rarely sit down, but men think through stuff and then make a decision. So yeah, passive decision maker has been a terrible one. And then, what is your one of the childhood memory? Okay, childhood memory. All right, a beautiful, unique one, really. So when I was young, one of the rules that was in our home was that you were not allowed to literally maybe come home after 6. It was just a family ritual because we were lots of girls. So my dad was very strict because he was worried we could be pregnant earlier, that will mess up with our education. So I remember this very carefully. I was very much active in the scripture, and I've loved God since I was young. And then at school, they said we were supposed to go to another boarding school so we can be having this conference for a weekend, whatever. I went home and I told my mom, and I knew my mom would be a spectacle, but she did not like it. But in my heart was burning. I was burning. I wanted to go to the place. And then she hides most of my clothes. So you know what I did? I remember I went there with only one dress that was on the line and my slippers for the whole weekend. Bear in mind, I'm going to where there's quite a lot of successful kids, you know what I mean? And they all literally dress well. And here I am with like maybe 2 clothes for the whole weekend. It it was an embarrassment, in my mind. But when I got there, the teacher from my school and some of we made it work. It was one of the most beautiful experience of my lifetime. I loved it just to be in the presence of God, and I had such an interesting encounter at that time. I loved to be around the girls. Now the fun part was now going back home and be able to face my mom, considering that I ran away. She didn't know that I've left. She knew I had left, but she did not like the fact that I made that decision. Here's the deal. I'm terrified to go back home, but I remember while I was literally like miles away, she can see me from a distance. She looked at me and then she laughed. I remember knowing my mom well that the decision I make, I knew I was going to get literally the beating of my lifetime. But funny enough, my mom never beat me. That's when I knew that I was walking with God. Literally, God went to my mom's house and spoke to my mom prior to me coming back home. And from that time, I respect God. I respect God. I knew that He saved me because I was going to get a whip of my lifetime. Really? My mom was crazy. I swear it was crazy. All right, so let's moving right along. How will you describe your lifestyle? My lifestyle is very like I'm a homebody. I'm very much to myself. I've got a very loud personality, but I'm very much to myself. For those that know me, I'm not really that adventurous. I love to just chill. I love to stay in a clean home, in a nice house, and I also love to, just to enjoy my life. Really, I'm so much into myself. Although it's hard for people to believe based on my personality, but hey, I'm very much a homebody person. So that's simply my lifestyle. It's a homebody, loving God, pretty much. Then, what is the greatest accomplishment of your life? Man, I think the greatest accomplishment of my life was just to be, what can I say? A lot, eh? I think the best accomplishment is that I tend to be 40, really just, having a unique personality. I've never lost myself or lose myself in any case. So many things happened along the way, but still I found myself just, so much to myself. There's never been a time where I say, oh my God, I don't know where the lady is. She's always available, pretty as ever, and just, smiling and laugh. Making my cheekbones. Crazy, right? I've got such interesting cheekbones, but God is good. So my lifestyle is really just interesting one. Just, chilled. I won't release much more because some of the things people, listen, I also want people to discover some of the things, along the way. I wouldn't give you all the information, but I can just give you a glimpse of it so that at least you can get to discover me more when you follow my YouTube channel. All right, then, what is the one thing it instantly makes your day better? Meditation. Meditation makes my day better. Listen, guys, if I am having a terrible day, the moment I just cross-legged, hit my mantras and meditate, I'm good. Or worship as well. Worship. I love worship, especially playing new song. My favorite songs. I know who I am, King of Kings, that's it. And I find myself in that space where, it's pretty much like the most maybe soothing, peaceful, so meditation and worship. All right, so what do you wish people could understand more about you? What do I wish people could understand more about you? By the way, guys, these questions, I never went through them. That's why you can see that I'm still trying to figure out what's up here. What do you wish people could understand more about you? That I'm actually a very reserved person. Because my personality is very loud. I'm all over the place. I love to laugh a lot. I find that people, sometimes they do misread me. They actually think I'm who I am not. And I don't blame them because they barely, know me much. They assume I'm this kind of person, I'm that kind of person, even when I'm not that. So I just wish you guys can get to know me better by just spending time with me. I'll get to hear my mind so that it's easier for you to at least judge me well. All right, Then what is the biggest risk you ever took? I think the biggest risk I ever took was, I want to tell you this one actually is very funny, but it's the truth. So one day I really wanted to go to church. It was an evening service. Let me tell you, it was an evening service. And the person who was supposed to come and pick me up didn't turn up. It was actually a family that was very close to me. For some reason, they had commitments and they didn't manage to come and pick me up to take me to the church. This was in the middle of the night. Those all-night churches, but I just wanted to be in the church. So I remember trying to sleep, but the Holy Spirit woke me up. Listen, I woke up in the middle of the night, like 10:30. Oh, you know, South Africa, right? Johannesburg. It's not like an easy place where you can just do your thing in the middle of the night. You must be very careful. So I personally left my house at 10:30, went out of the house, dressing up, and I said, I'm going to go to church. I was terrified to call an Uber to come because I didn't know whom I would be calling, but this is what I did. While I was standing just along the road, there was this white man that parked the car and he said to me, where are you going? I said, I'm going to church. He said, where? I told him where I was going. He said, get into the car. He drove the car and left me by the church. That was one of the most interesting risks that I ever took. But I also knew that it was just God who sends him. So literally God had sent an angel for me so that at least I can be in the church to worship him. So yeah, risk, terrible, crazy, right? But God is good and I'm still here. All right, so then, what is your most random impulse buy? Shoes, like crazy, shoes, yeah. When did you start a YouTube channel? I think why I started the YouTube channel was really just trying to educate young people to understand what's really happening in the world. I've seen that as much as we all think things are okay, we can now look at some of our social ills and how can we avoid them. Some are avoidable, some we cannot avoid. So I can try as much as I can, even if I can help one or two people. I think for me that's enough. So I just want to invest more in really getting to help some of my young girls to understand how the world functions. So yeah, pretty much that's one of the reasons why I started my YouTube channel. Yeah. And what would you prefer, iPhone or Samsung? That's a crazy question. Let me just tell you something. There was actually a time where I got a Samsung. So I've always been an iPhone person. And I remember this time I got to buy a Samsung, and this guy from MTN said this to me. He was like, girl, listen, if you've been a person who loves iPhone, please don't try Samsung. And I was like, no, man, it looks great. Let me have it. Like I bought that Samsung. I think it was the most boring phone for me, right? And by the way, I'm not saying it's a bad brand. There are people that love Samsung and I think it's a great deal. But when you get used to use an iPhone, it's actually tough and hard for you to use another phone. You struggle literally. So that's me, okay? But I've used other phones even when I either break my phone or lose my phone. I've always maybe get a temporary phone, and Samsung has always been one of them. And it's been a good phone. It's not really a bad phone, but it's harder to switch between the two. Okay. So what is the best advice you can ever give to your family? The best advice I can ever give to my family is I can just tell them to love God. I've always told my family that, you can't make it without God. So pretty much invest time in knowing your Father. Have a relationship with Him. Get to work with Him if you truly want to make it in life. So that's the best advice I ever give to my family members. Okay. What is one thing that I like? What type of food do I like to eat? Oh man, I think can I tell you something? You can take me to the most expensive restaurant in the world, and they can literally, maybe serve me the best meal. But if you put the corn next to that meal, I'm going to prefer having corn or mealie than having the meal. I'm sorry. I love mealies to a point where I would do anything. And the people in my house they know very well that if I were to buy 10 mealies, I think 8 mealies is me who's going to finish them. No. That sounds crazy. Yes, I love mealies. Listen, the corn, I do love it. I would do anything, literally. What is the one thing that makes you smile always? Wow. I think what makes me smile is when I change someone's life. If I just become a blessing to someone and see a smile on their face, that melts my heart. That is everything. Just changing lives. That is everything. Like I live literally being a blessing to people. So yeah, pretty much that really makes me happy. When my family is happy, I'm happy. When my people around me are happy, I'm happy. When my dad is happy, I'm happy. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much that puts a smile on my face. So so they said there's a bonus question actually. Bonus question that how do you describe love in 10 words? Ooh, in 10 words. Yeah, but I would describe love, but in 10 words, that's kind of a bit scary. I'm terrified now, becoming scared. How can I actually define love like in 10 words? I would say love. That love never fails. One of the scriptures that I love in the Bible, love never fails. When you keep showing love, you never fail. And I encourage you to keep doing the same, all right? Keep doing the same. Love never fails. I hope I give you a glimpse of who I am, guys. So see you guys in my next upload. Let me just tell you, I'm here to stay. And trust me, you need to follow me, guys. Follow. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe because I'm going to give you like literally the best. So please stay tuned because you want to know more about me. I love you all. God bless you. Mwah. Subscribe to the channel.